Hello everyone, today I am going to show you how to upload a paperback book to KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing through Amazon. So once you set up your KDP account, you will be brought to your dashboard, which should have this bright yellow create button. So go ahead and click on that. And today, because we are creating a paperback, I'm obviously going to click Create Paperback. So go ahead and do that. And then on the next page, you're going to be brought to 3 different tabs. So the first tab is Paperback Details. And if the language of your book is in anything other than English, you can go ahead and change that right here. But then the next step is going to be to type in your book title as well as your subtitle if your book has one. Next, Amazon wants to know what the name of your series is. If you are starting a series, this part is optional. And if there is going to be a series name, go ahead and click this button. There's a couple of simple prompts that it will walk you through to put in your series information. So do that if necessary. Edition number is probably not something you're going to ever be concerned with, so you can just skip over that. And then for the author section, obviously go ahead and put in your information. And now for contributors, this is also optional, but maybe you want to credit your editor or your illustrator or whoever helped you with your book that you want to give special recognition to. Or maybe you have a co-author. Maybe you wrote your book with someone else. You would definitely add them here. Next, in the book's description area, this is where you're going to put your blurb that you've written specifically to highlight the best things about your book and to draw in a reader. And there's also a couple different options up here for formatting how your blurb looks. Next is going to be the publishing rights section. So it is possible for you to upload a public domain work, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to assume that you are uploading your own original work. So go ahead and click the first option. Now for keywords, this is really important. You're going to want to choose 7 keywords that you think readers will type in to find a book like yours. So this is essentially your book's SEO on Amazon or search engine optimization. So if you're writing a thriller book, you're going to want to add in keywords that you think are going to best help your readers find your book. Or if you're writing a romance or a fantasy, whatever you think will best help readers find your book is what you're going to want to put in these 7 blank spaces right here. After that, you're going to want to choose your book's categories. And so go ahead and click Choose Categories, and it's going to bring up some very large general ones right here. So since this is a fiction paperback, we're going to go with the fiction section. And it's going to bring up a lot of different genres within that. So just look through all of these, choose which one best fits your book, and some of them will have even, further subgenres that you can also choose. So once you go through here and choose the categories that apply to your book, go ahead and click Save. And then it also says, does your book classify as any of these types? Choose all that apply. And so if either of these options applies to your book, go ahead and check that as well. Lastly is adult content. Does your book contain language, situations, or images inappropriate for children under 18 years of age? If no, click no, and if yes, click yes. Okay, so now that was the first tab. Now at this point, you can either save what you've done as a draft and come back later, but if you want to continue on to the second tab, click Save, and then Continue. So we're now onto the second tab called Paperback Content. And in the first box here, which is labeled Print ISBN, we have two options. You can either use a free KDP ISBN, which is a great option for newbies who maybe don't want to buy their own ISBN, or for someone who, isn't planning on selling hundreds or maybe even thousands of books. Maybe it's more of like a personal copy for yourself and just some friends and family. Or if you're not quite sure what you're doing yet, you can always use a free ISBN. However, if you have purchased your own ISBN for this book, you would choose the second option, and then you would insert the ISBN along with your imprint. So once you choose the correct option here, you can scroll down to Publication Date. Now, if you haven't published your book before, go ahead and leave this blank. Just as it says right here, leave this blank if you are publishing your book for the first time. However, if this book has been published before somewhere else, you can go ahead and click this calendar icon and then input its original publishing date. Now, for print options, you can choose how your book is going to be on the interior. You can either choose black and white with cream paper, black and white with white paper, standard color interior with white paper, or premium color interior with white paper. Now, since this is a fiction book, I'm going to assume that it's just going to be black text on white or cream paper. So the cream or white paper will be totally up to your preference and what you think your readers are going to enjoy. If you're not sure, do some research for what is appropriate for your genre, but also think about, what is more comfortable for readers. Some people say white paper is too bright for the eyes and that cream paper is more relaxing for the eyes. So just consider that and decide which is best for you and your audience. And next is the trim size. If you don't want to publish your book in 6x9, which is the default, you can click Select a different size right here, and you can choose the size that is going to work best for you in your book. It is probably going to be one of these two in the middle, the 5.25 by 8 inches or the 5.5 by 8.5 inches, but you're going to need to do your research on what trim size is best for your purposes and your genre. But once you have the one that you want selected, you're good to go. And then the next thing you need to do is go to the bleed settings. You're either going to choose no bleed or bleed if your PDF does have that. If you're formatting your book yourself, you should know whether or not it has bleed. However, if someone else is formatting your book, this is something that you are going to want to clarify with them so you know which option to choose. Lastly, paperback cover finish. You have either a matte option or a glossy. I really like glossy covers, but I actually did a poll among quite a few people at my work one day, and they all voted for the matte cover. I actually had a glossy sample and a matte sample for them to look at, and they all chose matte. So once again, do your research, figure out what is right for your genre and your purposes, but matte is selected by default, so it's certainly not going to hurt to go with that option. Finally, next, we are in the manuscript box where you can finally upload your paperback manuscript. So go ahead and click that button, upload your manuscript from wherever it is on your computer, and then Amazon is going to run some checks to make sure that the document's okay and that you don't have any spelling errors. And so once that is complete, you can now come to the book cover section. And you can either launch Cover Creator and make something standard through Amazon, or you can upload your own book cover that maybe you made or you had a designer make. So if you do want to upload your own cover and you don't want to use Amazon's cover creator, go ahead and select the second option where you can then upload your own cover file. Now, Amazon does want to know if your cover already includes a barcode. So if it does, go ahead and check this box. If it does not, leave it unchecked. If you don't have a barcode, Amazon will put one on the back of your cover for you. And then once your manuscript has been uploaded and your book cover file has been uploaded, this launch previewer is going to be accessible and you will be able to view your book and see what it's going to look like before Amazon actually creates it. That way you get a sense if everything, will be right when it finally is printed. And once you are done with that, once again, you can either save as a draft or you can move on. We are now on the final tab, which is the paperback rights and pricing. So the first box up here is going to be territories, and it's okay to leave all territories selected unless for some reason you do want to break it down by individual territories. And now the next box is going to be primary marketplace, which if you're in America is most likely going to be Amazon.com. So you can just leave that as is. Next is the box of pricing, royalty, and distribution. So a couple different things going on here. The first thing is to set the price of your print book in this Amazon.com box. And once you do that, it's going to show you, the printing cost of your book, your royalty rate, and what royalty you are going to make. Now, if you are printing your book through, other sources like Ingram Spark or even Barnes & Noble, you do not want to click this expanded distribution box right here. If you do want to, just upload your book to Amazon and use Amazon to distribute your book to other sources, then you would want to do expanded distribution because Amazon would, aggregate your book for you. However, your royalty rate would drop to 40%, so just keep that in mind. Also, expanded distribution is not offered in some marketplaces through Amazon. The majority of authors do prefer to just upload their book to Amazon and then use other book aggregators like Ingram Spark or Draft to Digital to, get their books onto Apple or Barnes & Noble or lots of other retailers. I'm not sure of too many authors that actually use expanded distribution through Amazon. So go ahead and set your price right here, and then Amazon will auto-populate the prices for other countries that's comparable to your American price. All right, and at the bottom there is a terms and condition box that will, let you read the terms and conditions if you would like to. And you can also request a book proof of your book by clicking this button and just going through the simple prompts for Amazon to send you a copy. Now, again, you can save as a draft at this point, or you can go ahead and publish your paperback book right away. Of course, choose the option that is best for you, but congratulations, you have now uploaded your first paperback book to Amazon.